That is not good. Of course. Well guys, we're in the shop again, and in this episode, I am going to pull the pan off this engine and see if the main caps are fretted, because I've got to order parts. Now, I've got lots of other projects that I could do, and one of the things I'd really like to do is try and start one and see it through, but short block, gold kit, piston packs, whatever you want to call it, whatever parts I have to order for this engine is what I'm trying to say is going to take probably 8 weeks or maybe more, you know, with the whole part supply issue. So I need to hurry up and make a decision if this engine is rebuildable or if I should just order a long block or a short block. Long blocks are expensive, but you don't have to do anything. So anyways, I'm gonna pull the flywheel off because the other thing I need to do is lighten it up so that it's so that I can lift it with my tractor, because Dad would like to have his tractor back to do some stuff. And when I say tractor, I mean his backhoe. So let's just lighten it up, because I'm gonna have to pull the flywheel off anyways to get it turned, or use that flywheel. What I'm saying is I'm gonna have to use one of them. So let's pull it off, decrease some weight, because I am gonna have to get that pan off. So anyways, let's just do it. And it's just that easy. That's a bit of weight. So that's out of there. I don't know what the heck that is, but you can definitely tell it was sitting outside for a while. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing. I think I could just jack it up with the floor jack. Probably maybe, eh? I'll swap motor mounts. But I don't think I'll do that right now. Maybe cut some blocks to put under here and shore it up, or I could put a block under there, or C, all of the above. So I'm gonna go cut some blocks. Blocks, hardwood blocks I might add. So my plan is to lift it up. I don't know where that goes. Put it in there. Lift it up, take it off those blocks because those are sitting on the pan, set it on this, and then screw some blocks going diagonally to give it lateral strength so it doesn't go. Yeah, that'll work just fine. Now, I want to see if my little forklift will pick it up. And when I say little forklift, I mean tractor. Because if it does, then I don't need to worry about not having Dad's backhoe here to muck with the engine. That's solid, but what I'm gonna do is make, do the same thing on the front and then cross tie it. So then that way I don't have, it'll be like a wooden engine stand is what I'm saying. Almost like I've done it before. You know, use a power saw. Okay, on to the next thing. Well, now we'll make sure there's no oil. I'm quite happy with how this is, so I'm not gonna do the block thing on the front right now. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna leave it. And this is one of those auto drain plugs, but the end is bashed. So there's no oil. There's none on the dipsticks. I think it's just residual drippage, but we'll just make sure. Smells like diesel fuel. It's not a good sign. Wow, what does it matter? The engine's toast anyways. There's the broken pieces of the liner. Shoot. And there's dirt and crud in the bottom of that. Other than that, it looks great. So I'm gonna have to lift this thing up to get the pan out of there. So I will have to grab the tractor. There we go. I put some brackets on there so it couldn't come off. Now, if we look in the pan, there's dirt and some sludge. It's definitely not a runner. At least not the way it is. All right, look at my engine. You can see there's some rusty bits. Not a shocker considering that there was water in it. I'm gonna say the cam looks good. There's your broken liner right there. So I'm gonna pull 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Number 4 cap off and this main one off, and then see if we can see any fretting. And if I'm in question, we'll take it to the experts at work and I'll get them to inspect my block. Inspect my block. So, what size is that? Besides big. I don't think I have a socket big enough for that. Good gravy! Great Scott, that's a giant socket! What size is that? I'm a professional. I just keep holding up sockets until I get the right one. And what size? Let's check. 7, so it's 18 millimeter. I bet. 19 will be too big. This is probably 18 here because it's been used a lot. Yep. So let's take a looky. Oh, I guess I don't need an impact. Looks like they're fractured caps. Fractured gaps, I say. Guess I need a little tap hammer. Oh, that is in. Oh, that's the bearing. It's stuck. That is not good. Of course. Let's try taking a big cap off. I don't know. I think, well, anyways, let's get it out of here and I'll clean it up so we can look at it up top. And I'm gonna grab just try and tap this up a little bit to get it off there. But because this is a fractured cap, oh, who am I kidding? I'm not using it anyways, but I'm gonna use a block of wood. There's your bearing. All right, guys. So here is the salvage engine's main crankshaft. It's your mains, okay? It's your main holds I was gonna say camshaft, but it's not the camshaft, dummy. It's your crankshaft, but they say fretting. Now look at those bearings. This engine was done when it came out, but I think there's definite fretting in my opinion. So if you look at there, you can see machine marks, but you also see like almost like rubby spots. I believe that's what they call fretting, which it doesn't mean that the block or the engine's no good. It just means that you have to machine the block, bolt these in, and then line bore this out so that when you put your new bearings in, they're not too tight. Because if you just put new bearings in right now, that rubbing of this, and you know what, maybe this isn't bad. Like, I'm gonna take it to the shop and get them to check it out for me. But if it is too much, if you just put new bearings in, it'll lock up and can spin a bearing. So apparently that's a weakness with a C13. Who knew? I never knew until I had one. And these are your bearings for your connecting rod. You can see that engine's been done for a while. So this block, it wasn't a runner. I mean, you might have made it make smoke, but yeah, this engine needed a rebuild a long time ago. So it's just a core. Now the question is, we can still rebuild it if that isn't bad, but if that needs to be done, it's going to be a lot more money to rebuild it. And if I'm going to spend that much money, then it's going to be a case of, to heck with that. We're doing a long block or a short block. So anyways, I think I'm going to try and pull that liner out. I could use a liner puller, which I don't have, but let's just try and make something. Let's just make it happen. So then that way we can inspect the block and make sure the block didn't get damaged when that liner broke. So yeah, just good thing I got 5 other trucks to work on, right? Well, something I need to do before I pull this out is pop the piston cooling jet nozzle off. There it is. Little nozzles, squirt, squirt. Let's put this over there. I'm just gonna give it a couple love taps from the other side. Ooh. There. Now I think I can pull this out. I think I can pull it out from the top. Somehow. Okay. So here's my liner. So I need something where I can just kind of, I know at work they've got a compression thingy that compressions and then they can pull it up by hand. Because these have O-rings, so I believe they're not tight. So, yeah, let's figure something out. It's probably not recommended, but who knows? Liner, anyone? Take a look. Oh yeah. Block is good. We are in good shape, my friends. I think. And this is the one. You know, I really should pull the pan off of the other engine, because I bet you this is what happened to the other one. Because that seems like a pretty tinky winky liner. I mean, I'm no expert, but wouldn't that be a takeoff if the other engine, that's all it was doesn't matter at this point, but apparently it didn't have that many hours on it. Like, I think it only had 7,000 hours on a rebuild kind of thing. So, but the one hole went bad. So, okay. So Mike, we got some decisions to make. We do. I think I'm gonna finish stripping this down. Well, I don't know, I guess I don't really need to strip it down at this stage, but I mean, if there's any good parts on it, like the oil cooler, or, I don't know. But, yeah. Look at that. Does not look healthy. I don't even know if I should have hit that with wood, you know that? Huh. Anyways, I'm gonna knock this piston out, because why not? One gunky, dirty piston and connecting rod with its fracture caps. Fracture means it's broken, so it's jagged like that, so you get a precise fit. But look at how wussy these liners are. I mean, it's thick up here, but the shoulder down here is... So, I bet that happened when it filled with water. You know, it had water on it and it froze and split it. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna pull another couple main bearing caps, and then I'm gonna package them up and take them to work so Clint can take a look at them. So here are two more main caps, and if you look at this one, if I can focus, that shininess right there, I believe is fretting. I don't know if the light really captures it. But yeah, so I'm gonna take these to work, show them to the lead hand, Clint. He's the guy that, well, he's one of our lead hands, and he's rebuilt a gazillion engines. So, anyways, let's head to work now, which will be like tomorrow, and see what Clint's opinion of this engine is. Okay guys, so I'm at work. I had the expert, Mr. Clint Schaap, take a look at these for me. And you know, my opinion has changed on this. So it's kind of a good talking point, but so these are fretted. You know, if I'm gonna put new bearings in here, I definitely would have to line bore the block. But so far, I've had our warranty guy look at the bearings. I've had our service manager look at the bearings. Clint's looked at the bearings. And they said, for what I'm doing, there's a lot of life left in it. Like if I was gonna work this truck for, I don't know, the next 20 years, you know, you could pull it out, line bore it, rebuild the whole thing. But these bearings aren't that bad. So there is still quite a bit of life left in them. And even the little bit of a mark on the crank, like he says, if there's just a little bit of a bump, you can just polish it up a little bit, and that's fine. So what I'm gonna do, and you can change rod bearings. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the other engine down. We're gonna see what the liners look like in it. And supposedly it was rebuilt, or the hour meter was changed when it was rebuilt. And I wanna say it's like 8,000 hours, which is a bit, but if those liners and pistons are good enough, I'm gonna leave the best one in my salvage engine and swap over the other ones. So we might be in good shape yet. So, and you know, this is why you want to talk to the experts, because to me, I look at this and I'm like, oh, there's wear there, and da-da-da. And like they say, this is just the first layer, and there's a number of layers. So like even this one, that's the first layer, and there's more than one layer. So what to an untrained eye, I think it's toast, and they're like, no, it's just wear. You know, it doesn't mean that the engine is at the, you know, say 10% of its life. It could be at the 50% of its life. Well, if it's 50% of its life, if it's at the 50% point in its life, and the engine is say 800 to 900,000 K truck pulling big weights, that's still 400,000 K worth of life. So I might be jumping the gun a little bit by saying that I should just, you know, change program here. But, you know, this liner is definitely, definitely done. And interesting thing too. So, you know, and this is where I'm kind of excited because I'm learning stuff. So I thought the C13 liner wall was kind of tinky winky, you know, not very thick. But like Clint was saying, and we've got I should go take a look, but we've got C15 6NZ out in the shop torn down that we're rebuilding. And it's got electrolysis where there's little pitted holes, but and now I forget what he called it, but basically the sealing point is down here. So you have all this area for electrolysis where they changed it on these ones so it's shorter to the sealing part. So this is the only part where there's water, where there's coolant, and it's actually helps prevent the electrolysis, which is like the pitting of the cylinders, which, you know, they pit to the point where all of a sudden you get a pinhole through it, and now you've got a coolant going into your cylinder, which is why your pH levels and water testing on engines is so important on the older ones, because they had the taller liners, and, you know, the new coolant has the stuff. But yeah, so this, I mean, obviously this is bad, but it's not as bad as I thought. So, you know what? Clint told me to not touch these, clean them with brake clean, blow them off, don't use paper, don't use your finger. And as long as I reuse these main bearings, they're good to go. Even with a little bit of fretting, because as the fretting wears in, the bearing wears in. So they're like for like. The only time the fretting will be a big issue is if I roll new bearings into the bottom end. So, and they said there's still lots of life left in this engine, especially if I'm not pulling big weights. So, you know, pulling a step deck or using it as an RV puller, he said it'll probably last forever. So, look at that. This is why you want to ask an expert, not a truck salesman that is, you know, learning. But that's why we ask, you know, go to your local Peterbilt dealer, talk to the guys that are master techs, because they know, because they deal with this stuff all the time. So, okay guys, so this is the electrolysis. So these are the liners out of this 379 Pete with, I think it's got 4 million miles on it or something like that. Engine's never been out. It's had an in-frame like about 1 million ago. But yeah, you can see how the O-rings are further down, so your shoulder is longer. And, you know, I'm no expert, so if I'm butchering the names of it, well, it's because I'm a truck salesman, not an engine mechanic. But yeah, so this is why you want your coolant to be right. But I mean, you got to remember, this engine has quite a few miles on it. But that is the electrolysis where, you know what, when your piston is pushing on that side of the cylinder and the pulse, it all of a sudden you have a void and the water bubbles explode. How it was explained to me. So when the water bubbles explode, it makes that, and then eventually that goes right through to the other side, and then you have a leak, and then you're doing an in-frame. So yeah, that's the block over there. This is the hole. This is the dirty hole. Now, if this was my truck, I'd take this opportunity to clean it up, but you know what? Shop rate's 160 bucks an hour, so I'm pretty sure the customer doesn't want us cleaning his frame up, but yeah, she's a belly dragger. She's a belly. Oh, hey, here's another one. This is a 06 or an 07 Pete. Now this is something to keep an eye out for too, guys. Customer bought it, was a good price, ran good apparently, did its first trip, and she went kaboom. It's another Duke kaboom, or maybe it's Bob kaboom, but look what she's getting, a brand new engine. So you know what the beauty is? It's an old truck, 07 EPA, old technology, no DPF, no DEF. Customer had a DPF truck, had it deleted, and they told him he got stopped by the DOT, and they said, sir, park, bring papers. You need to get it working or don't move. So yeah, he ended up, his other truck is a 2015. He had to re-lead it, and he bought this truck because he's like, you know what, don't want emissions. And so he's got 2 trucks right now. But yeah, look at that. Nice 500 horse Cummins. And if I'm not mistaken, it's the same engine, so you can actually turn it up to 565 or 600. But yeah, not a bad looking old 389 or 379. What year is it? Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'm kind of excited now to put this C13 back together, and we're gonna make Duke a runner without having to spend $40,000. Knock on wood, or 50,000. Hopefully maybe just a couple thousand, you know, O-rings and whatnot. But stay tuned. Peterbilt Mike, engine builder extraordinaire. Yeah. More like a jack of all trades, master of none, but he's still better than a master of one. Anyways, take care, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button, leave a comment down below, let me know what you think, and till the next one, cheers. Well, Dad's come to get his backhoe. Good thing is, I got a flat deck. So we'll give this a whirl. We haven't done this before. Just like that. Although the hoe might be dug into the dirt. No. Well, yeah. Yeah, no. It's almost like it was designed for it. And that's it. This is my mom.
Hi there.
Hi, Mom.
Hi. Nice to see you once in a while.
Yeah, right.
Mostly just see you on YouTube.
Well, there we go. Dad wants to fill in that hole, so now he can fill it in.
One thing, he's not afraid to, you know, just give her.
No,
How panicky was that?
it wasn't. Ish. How panicky was it to drive it?
Well, I knew exactly what I was going to do. As soon as it started over the edge, you just flick it forward.
Oh,
And then the torque slips and slows it down.
okay.
Well, it's here and it's off the truck, so everything's in one piece still.
That actually worked good.
Little homestead.
This is where they're at when they're not in Arizona.
10 weeks, and we're out of here.
But who's counting?
I am. Last week it was 11. This week it's 10.
Won't be long. That's why I need
No,
to
it
start
goes
cutting
fast.
firewood.
Yeah.
As much as I hate firewood. But,
Keeps
all
you
right.
warm in the winter. We don't have that problem.
No.
I'm glad we have air conditioning when we go to Arizona.
Yeah, but we still burn lots of propane.
Well, and it does get cold at night there sometimes in the winter.
If it gets down to 0, there'll be ice on the bird bath.
Yeah, and we usually turn the furnace on in the morning and the air conditioner on in the afternoon.
Well, that's fair enough.
So we're comfortable, that's the main thing.
Yep. One day I'll get my turn. One day.
Don't
Yeah.
wish your life away. It'll go too soon.
Yeah,
And
we
believe me,
waited
when you get old, it's no fun.
Yeah.
We waited a long time.
And everything hurts. Even my teeth.
Yeah, but you can take those out.
I know, and they still hurt. Oh, well.
All right. Well, I'll get at her. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. That's it for this episode. Peterbilt Mike and all the shenanigans. What are we going to do for an engine? I don't know. I think we might concentrate on some cabovers for a little bit. So anyways, take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Peace.